Hey everybody, it's Tanya with ScrappyChicks.com and your creative partner with Kiwi Lane. And today I am bringing you a paper bow tutorial. So this was requested. I did a paper bow project share, a bat bow Halloween project share. And I had a subscriber ask me would I please do a paper bow tutorial because I discovered this through another YouTube crafter called May Made It, and I'll leave a link, and she did an awesome tutorial. So this is where I learned this, was from May Made It, and I'll leave her link below. Excuse me. So today I'm going to show you how I make these bows, and I added a bat to mine using a Kiwi Lane template. But I'm going to show you how to do the actual paper bow itself. And so that's what I wanted to show you today. No dies required, just a piece of paper, scrap paper at that. Piece of scrap paper and scissors and a bone folder. Now this is just a scrap piece and I want my bow to be a little skinnier. So what I'm going to do is cut this down. And I hate to measure. So actually these two pieces will give you two different size bows. It'll give you a little wider bow and a skinnier bow. I didn't measure. I just eyeballed and cut. Okay. So, but I will measure this just for this tutorial to let you know how long this is. So at the one, so this is roughly 9.5 is what that looks like. You can do it as long as you want. There's no wrong way to do this really. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece of paper, your piece of paper, and you're going to fold it in half. Okay, so you just take it, fold it in half. Okay, you're going to take this top part and fold it down. Excuse me. You're going to take the next piece and fold it down. And this is going to make it the letter M. Okay. So fold it in half, top part down, next part down, the letter M. Okay. So now you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to eyeball it and cut an angle. If you do not feel comfortable eyeballing it, you can take the piece that you just cut off that goes flying across your craft table and you can line it back up and you can cut it. That way you have an even cut, but I've done this so many times, I just eyeball it. And the pieces do go flying across the room. Okay, so at that point, this is what it should look like. So you'll have a straight piece, a V, excuse me, on both ends, a straight piece, a crease in the middle, straight piece, V, and a straight piece. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Now there's a crease in the middle that you can't see, I'm sure, but there's a crease in the middle and there's a crease here. So you're going to take your bone folder and you're just going to curl it. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use a pencil and roll it. So where you curled it, those are actually going to be your loops. And then I like to use a low heat glue gun. You do not need a high heat glue gun with paper crafts. A low heat will work. And so I actually just got this new purple one from Hobby Lobby. But it's a low heat. So you just put a dab of glue and you're going to bring the edge to the center. Hold it for a minute, flip it around. You're going to do the same thing. Put just a dab of glue and fold this to the center. and hold it down. Okay. And then it's going to be like this. Okay, so this part are going to be your tails, but we're going to trim that down. They're not going to be that long. But to give this more stability, your bow more stability, you want to glue your tail piece to your loop. Okay, so just put a little dollop of glue, not a lot, and just glue that and just hold it lightly. Don't pinch it, because if you pinch it, you're going to squish your bow loop. And we're going to fluff this up in just a minute. And you're going to do that on both sides. So you're going to glue your tail to your loop like this. And I'm trying to pull all these strings off. Okay. So now that's attached. That way it's not floppy. If you don't do that, your bow will be floppy. And you can bend this in the middle so it'll sit. Okay, so this is extra. So you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to trim. And again, I'm not measuring a thing. I hate to measure. I really don't like it. So I trim it and then I do a fishtail. So to do that, cut in the middle, angle, angle. That gives you your tail. No measuring. Small cut in the middle, angle, angle. Okay. Now, your loop may be a little flat, so you just pick it up and you just gently push it. See how that makes a big difference? So you go from flat to poofy. So you're going to turn it around and you're going to push on this one. And that's just going to poof that up just a little bit. Okay. Now you can leave it like this. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Or you can take a scrap piece of paper and cut a piece to go in the middle. So I have like a scrap piece of orange. So you can cut a piece of paper to go in the middle, or you can add an embellishment. Like on this one, I added a scrap piece of paper and a jewel. So there's different things you can do with the middle. If you don't want a piece of paper here, we can just hot glue. I have this tub of jewels here. This little box of jewels. I got this box at the Dollar Tree, and all these little jewels came from, where did they come from? Michael's. Let's see. I love my jewel. This is called a jewel picker. I love this thing. So you can just, you don't even have to put a piece of scrap paper in here. You can just put a piece of hot glue and put your jewel right in the middle. But if you wanted to back that with a coordinating color scrap paper, you can. It's simple, but it's just as pretty. And this jewel picker has two ends, I'll tell you that. And they're sticky. So it's got a big end, and then it has a skinny end. And I got glue strings everywhere. Love, love, love this tool. I think I got this one off of Amazon. Okay, so that's one bow. Let's do another one. This is just a skinny piece of scrap paper. Okay. So you're going to fold it in half. And since this is scrap, this is not cut evenly. That's okay. See how this is off? Because I folded it in half and the cut's not the same, but that's okay. You just take your scissors now it's the same. I got just a little bit right here. See? Okay. So you fold that in half. You're going to fold top piece down, top piece down. And that forms the letter M. Okay. So then you're going to pick it up and you're going to do your little, again, I just eyeball it. And your paper goes flying across the room. Okay, so again, I'll turn it on this side so you can see it. So you have straight line, V, straight line, the crease in the middle, straight line, V, straight line. Okay, so there's two crease lines. There's a crease line here and a crease line here. That's where you're gonna, in between that line is where you're gonna take your bone folder or your pencil and you're gonna roll it. Just like that. Okay. So then your paper should look, you'll have two rolls. Okay, so what you do, you have that crease line in the middle, so you take a little bit of glue, and just be careful with your glue, and you're going to hold that down, a little bit of glue, hold this down, okay, then your bow looks like this. You're going to glue your loop to your tail and gently hold it. Glue your loop to your tail. Okay. Now you have all this excess paper, so you just trim that off. And then you're going to fishtail it. So cut in the center, angle, angle. Again, this is easy, no measuring. Cut in the center, slit in the center, angle, angle. Okay, if your loops are flat, you just push on them. Now, the other bows, I added a bat using the bat a la carte template. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So I took a piece of scrap paper. You take your template. You trace your template out. And I tend to be a messy tracer, but that's okay because I usually trace on the back side. Go ahead and cut your extra paper away from your template. The way you get that extra bulky paper off when you're trying to make your cuts. Then you don't have to deal with that extra paper because it can just get in your way. So we're going to cut our bat. And of course the bat's optional. I just wanted to show you how to make the paper bow because that method that we're using, you can use for any season, any craft, any holiday. But since I'm in the Halloween season still, that's why I'm got to focus on the Halloween. So there's your bat. So like this one, the bat's on the bottom because the bow is smaller. So we're going to do it this way as well because this bow is a small bow. So we just hot glue our bow to our bat. And then you just pick out a pretty center. Let's see what black looks like. I like the black. Let me do the fat bit. Okay, so we just pick up our jewel, put a dollop of hot glue, and yes, it's going to have strings, but that's okay. You can pull that off. We've got a black center, and you can use any color really. It's whatever you like. There's no wrong way to do it. And you have a very pretty, simple, easy back bow. And I didn't do it here, but I do usually ink the edges of my paper. Like this one, you can tell I did the inking around the bow. This one, I don't know if you can see it on camera, I did ink the edges. So you can do the inked edges as well. So this is just a very easy bow to make. No die cuts. No die cutting machine, just scrap piece of paper. So here's your tools to make these bows. A scrap piece of paper, a bone folder, a pair of scissors, and then a glue gun. That's it. Nothing fancy. Simple. So, and this is a great way to take your scraps and make some stash from your scraps. That way you can go to these whenever you need them for a card, a layout, a loaded envelope, a treat bag, or if you just want to trade it with someone else. Okay, and that's my easy, no tools required, no die cuts required paper bow. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you for your requests for tutorials. I'm always open to requests if you see something that I share, but I haven't done a tutorial. If you're interested in doing a tutorial, I'll be glad to do that and upload that. So just comment below and just let me know if that's something you're interested in. Thank you again. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.